So members, now we were going to have one more bill to bring forward, and I want to touch on this a little bit because I'm highly disappointed that we're not able to bring this forward, and I believe Chair Jordan is too from our discussion. House File 3487 by Representative Rayrauer was scheduled to come up. If you remember correctly, it was previously heard in our committee. This is the anonymous threat bill, and it was laid over by Chair Jordan. And at that hearing, I offered an amendment to make the participation of schools permissible, and then I withdrew the amendment as Representative Rayrauer agreed to work with us. And so Representative Rayrauer, to her credit, reached out to both Representative Mueller and myself, and we worked together to come up with a great bipartisan bill that we all supported. And that DE amendment was going to come up today. I don't even quite know how to say all this because this is really disappointing and actually angering because we have a truly bipartisan bill here. And I want to be able to champion bills on both sides of the aisle, and I believe all of us support that bill. And we, I don't know how many hearings ago that was, Chair Jordan, that we heard that, but it's a number of them. When we heard the bill, it was posted. We invited additional written testimony. None was provided, including no written testimony by any of the agencies under the authority of our governor. But today we are going to pull this because now suddenly there is a request for a fiscal note because the bill calls for a report to be given by the agency. It's like three or 4 years old, something like that, that the bill asked the agency to incorporate within its budget. And Mr. Uni, I'm not shooting the messenger here, so I know he's sitting out there, but I want to say something about these fiscal notes because so many of our bills, and in this case, one that has great bipartisan support, which we are ready to send to the General Register and get this done for our schools because we know how necessary it is. It's death by fiscal note, and this should not be. So I just want to touch base. The Department of Education, as of January this year, they're hiring at least 40 new positions. They have an $8 million carryover from their previous budget, and we've asked that this be included within their current budget. I don't believe that's a big ask. And honestly, sometimes these fiscal notes give the appearance, and I'm not saying this is purposefully, but it sure gives the appearance of working behind the scenes at some point at this agency level to kill a bill without coming forward and saying it. And I don't want to believe that, but that's the appearance it gives. And I want to say, if we can't ask the agency to absorb what would be a moderate report, well, we do this to our schools all the time. So welcome to the world of our local schools. As a legislature, we constantly send down to them, you need to do this report, you need to do this training, you need to do such and such. In the form of mandates, many are underfunded or unfunded. They don't get to send us fiscal notes back saying, you can't do this because this is going to cost us extra money. So this is something that I think the agency, I would ask them to reconsider this because I want to champion Representative Rayrauer's bill, and I believe everybody here does, for this anonymous threat reporting, which would be a good thing for our schools, a good thing for Minnesota, and a great thing for our students and staff. So I'm just expressing my disappointment. I don't know, Chair Jordan, would you like to say anything?
Yes, Madam Chair. I want to thank Representative Rayrauer for her work on this. I do know that she's been working very hard based off of the questions that she is peppering me and many of you with. She's really trying to work on this. I know this work is hard. I know people are trying, but this is a bill that we would like to pass. I will hear it next week. So I guess that's in education, you get due dates. Let's have it figured out by next week.
Thank you, Chair Jordan. Members, thank you for allowing me to say that. It gets really frustrating when we have a bill that's bipartisan that we can all agree upon, and all of a sudden at the last minute, things like this come up. So I would hope that we can get this through, and Chair Jordan, thank you for agreeing to bring this up next week, because we certainly need to do that. I think we're just going to close it right here. It wasn't meant to have comments on this. I'm sorry, Representative Roach, but it's not a bill that's come forward. This is just Chair's prerogative. So is it comments about process? Representative Roach.
So what, do we have a ballpark of what this fiscal note, excuse me, Madam Chair, do we have a ballpark of what this fiscal note would be? And, I mean, I can't imagine it's, millions of dollars. And like you had said earlier, we put this on our school districts all the time. Sometimes the department just has to eat it. They work for the taxpayer. And sometimes they just need to figure it out. And I mean, what a disservice to our school districts and our kids if they can't just figure it out and do a report. I mean, it's disappointing. We come here and school safety's been the #1 priority, a top priority here, and we have a bipartisan bill, and we're going to let a department stop this because of an administrative report. I find that, very frustrating, and I think they need to figure it out.
Thank you, Representative Roach. And the fiscal note has been requested. we have no idea. So anyway, I'm going to close it right there, just saying it's very disappointing, and I support this bill. Look forward to supporting it in the future as well, because our schools need this.